I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Welcome to Based on a True Story, Volume 6, Tales of the Underworld, where true crime collides with the furry, funny, and fierce world of the Dust Bunny Mafia. This brand new 32-page comic reimagines real mafia legends, Mad Dog Cole, John Gotti, and more, through the eyes of our animal mobsters. Think The Godfather meets Looney Tunes, packed with action, humor, and full-color storytelling.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
Welcome to the Madness Entertainment Group's special edition. We're here with now you left me out here hanging, Pops. All big and bright, all on screen, all me. The Madness Entertainment Group's special edition. We have Mr. Stephen Barone. Did I get that right, Pops?
Yeah, Stephen Barone.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on today.
Doing
Hey,
good.
some of you may know we tried to schedule this last week, and I think even once before that, and things were just a little shaky there for a minute. Oh, got banned on Facebook. Oh, this, that, oh, whatever. I always lost people. If we don't get you on the show that you were scheduled for, or if I screw around, double book you or whatever, I always make it up to my guests.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, you made it happen. So yeah, thank you.
So tell everybody just a little bit about who you are and what you do and why we're here.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'm Steve. I live in Portland, Oregon. I do have a comic book that's on Kickstarter right now. So it's a horror comic. It's called The Dirty, the Filthy, and the Dead. It's my first campaign. But I've been basically into comics all of my life. I wrote the comic, and I'm working with an illustrator, guy named Miguel. He's great. So I've been writing though most of my life, and I did, I've done screenplays, done short stories. Some of it was successful, some of it wasn't, but kind of wasn't giving me the freedom I was looking for. And so, I kind of got back into the hobby of collecting comics after COVID a little bit. And I kind of, got my interest renewed into comics, after COVID. And I was like, kind of, wanting to do something new with my writing. And so I was like, hey, I had some stories that just seemed like they'd make for good comic books. And so I started contacting people and looking for an illustrator and kind of going from there. And, probably started working on this comic a little more than a year ago, and finally kind of got up to speed enough to, get the campaign going.
Very cool. You said it's a horror, but what, without spoiling, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, so it's horror, a little bit kind of mysterious in that sense. I've been kind of selling it as sort of like so it's comedy too, so there's a little bit of humor in it. So it's not just all macabre, it's not just completely downbeat. I've been selling it as like an episode of Seinfeld, as if directed by David Lynch. So it's kind of like surreal horror at that, but it's a class reunion that takes place. And so the attendees of this class reunion, some of them are kind of basically scumbags, people kind of, that you want to see get their comeuppance. And the guy who hosts the reunion, he's kind of a mysterious guy that none of them really know. They don't know why he's there, but he's the MC. And, he starts doing some things to them that they don't see coming. And then kind of delves into their past, why they're there, and why they get their comeuppance, and so goes on from there. But then in the later issue, so this is issue 1, and it's a 4-part miniseries. And so as you go on, you see what happens, but then you kind of get the background as to why they have to pay for these sins, and who's kind of making them pay for their sins, and who this MC really is. And so it kind of unfolds through each issue.
This does have just your explanation of it sounds like it'd be a really good horror movie, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of even when I write like a short story or something, I have I'm very visual with my thinking, because when I started writing, I initially started with screenplays, and so that that's where I first began. And so writing the script for the comics, basically like writing a screenplay. And so it's been nice to kind of, and this is based on actually 2 short stories I wrote. One was a flash fiction piece that got published several years ago, which I then turned into a longer short story. And then that short story became this comic book.
Cool. Say hi to some people in the chat. We got Tim O'Reilly. Edwin say hi, POS. What's up? I know he meant Pops. I knew he meant Pops. I knew he wasn't calling me a piece of extra. I knew that. and sketchy guy, what's up? And he said, please option this to him.
Good name.
So there you go.
It does have that vibe to it of that, like you're saying, a mysterious, not benefactor, but like a mysterious host. Events to happen. Old grudges are there. Revenge. It's got a little bit of everything in there. It's a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, and you know, in sort of like my comic taste too, kind of like a little bit more like, you know, like Charles Burns, Daniel Close. So in that terms of like, you know, a bit of the humor, but also like kind of dark comedy sensibility. So if you're into something like that, those kind of guys, that sort of writing, not to say like I write like them, but that sort of stuff is what appeals to me as a reader. So that's kind of like my sort of aim. But and you know, but there is I guess, you know, it's hard, but not, you know, there's I wouldn't say it's like slasher horror. Like, you know, it's a little bit more surrealish, kind of David Lynch kind of like horror.
Gotcha. So still along that, so what were your favorite books kind of growing up then? Your favorite comic books?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up like in the 90s, like comic boom. So, you know, I started like, you know, it's funny, like I grew up on the East Coast. So like right now I live in Portland, Oregon, but I grew up in Rhode Island. And so it was like, you know, regular kind of suburban town. But yeah, I was lucky to have like a bunch of card shops and comic book shops just in like walking distance from my house. And I guess it'd be in the 90s boom. There's just a lot of people trying to cash in. So there's probably like 4 or 5 shops I could just walk to from my house. But, you know, during that time in the 90s, you know, especially like early 90s, mid 90s, I was collecting all the Image stuff when that first came out, some of the Valiant stuff, but and all like the newer comic book guys from Marvel, like Darkhawk, the New Warriors, Sleepwalker, so all those #1 issues that were happening at that time.
Right.
That's where I kind of started off at.
So it sounds like you were a little bit more willing to experiment with some stuff versus the old standard stuff. You're like, here's some new stuff I can try and get into from the beginning.
Yeah, basically, yeah, because I felt like with the older stuff, it was just a little overwhelming. You know, I felt like I would have to buy too much, and at the time too, like at that time, new comics actually were inexpensive. You know, as compared to like an older book, like spending $5 on a back issue back then was like a lot of money for me. Whereas like the new comics were like just $1. So it's like, all right, well, I'll spend $1 for a new book where that's just beginning, instead of, you know, $5 for each of these back issues at the time.
Yeah. And there was always the hope of, well, maybe he'll be the next Spider-Man, and I was in early on the ground floor.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of that too. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, and it was just fun. Like, yeah, those new kind of like companies just coming about too. And I mean, there was just those other ones. I think like Dark Horizon might have been one, like Plasmoids and yeah, that kind of stuff. I was buying those things too. So like anything that was like new just was like appealing to me as a kid.
Gotcha. Was there any particular style of art that you kind of leaned towards, or that was your favorite?
As a kid,
yeah. Was it just the Image flashy stuff, or like let's just say along the lines of like a standard 6-panel Marvel comic versus a flashy Image comic type?
It probably was more the Image stuff, just because it was just like these. It seemed more glossy. The characters were just like bigger, more muscular.
Right.
And you know, at that time, I was grabbing all the Image comics as they were coming out. It was just kind of like exciting because, you know, it's like, and those artists at the time were just kind of like rock stars. It's like, oh, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, and they were just like kind of always in the news, you know, for like what news was there at the time. You know, like grabbing Wizard magazine, and so that's how like I would find out about things, was reading Wizard magazine. So it's like,
yeah.
You know, so whatever they told me about or whatever I read in there, I was like, okay, that's, you know, that's what I'm grabbing next, or that's who I'm going to look for.
It was the Bible.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah. I mean, it was just exciting just to buy that Wizard, you know, when the next issue of Wizard was coming out. It's like,
Wizard's out. Yes. Yeah, tell me what I need to know.
Yeah. I mean, I remember getting an issue of that and just like, you know, going through it back and forth like numerous times, several times. I mean, you know, it was just, but you know, it's something like, I guess like young people now wouldn't like understand, of like getting like a book or a magazine and going over it like several times, not just quick skip and just be rid of it.
Right.
Like you'd even like catalogs or something, you'd go through it like over and over again, because we just didn't have the same distractions as we do today.
Yeah, because you go through it and you've read every single letter and word in the entire magazine probably 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, or you mean you're just being captivated by some of the images or pictures and just kind of like re-looking at them over and over again, or cutting them out and pasting them to your wall.
Right.
Like, I got a new poster out of this, this magazine.
Stephen, when you come out to the madness, things happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are things you don't expect to happen. But our boy over here, sketchy guy, this guy right here, he just dropped this in my inbox.
Nice.
That's fan art, bro. Fan view, not your character.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking pretty good there. Thank you, Sketchy.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm just saying, things
I
happen.
look more like a man in that sketch than I do in reality. So thanks.
And there's Carrie popping in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, say, look, Edwin, all you guys, Edwin over here, all you guys that are tattoo artists, y'all know I'm trying to bring a tattoo show to the network too.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Carrie. Yes, indeed. Man, if I could get like a different tattoo artist every week or something,
cool.
that'd be sweet, or have somebody like Edwin host a show where we have different tattoo artists come and join us. That'd be sweet,
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yes. Major Fangoria magazine.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yes, there he is.
Yeah. Do they still print Fangoria magazine, or is it just all online now?
I do not know.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah, that's one of those I'd always see and like be grabbing or looking for on like the newsstands.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they don't print much of anything anymore, at least in terms of magazines. That was always a great one to see on the newsstand.
So Miguel is your artist.
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
He's Miguel. Well, I don't know if I can actually. He's kind of he's got something going on that he kind of signed on to. So that's why he's kind of can't really. He was going to join me on some shows, but he signed on to something. So he's kind of going to be a little bit under the radar right now. So he's still going to be working with me. But yeah, he's a gentleman named Miguel. So so yeah, I can't, I don't want to say too much about, because I don't know what he signed or his contract is looking like.
Right. No problem.
Yeah. So, but he's good. But he did most of my artwork. I do have a cover B, a gentleman, Luis Rosa did. And he did also my logo, my Graveyard Ape logo.
Mm-hmm. So, Carrie, your perfect timing. We're just kind of doing the get to know thing, and we haven't gone over the pitch yet.
Yeah, we're just starting to look at the campaign right now. Do you want me to play the trailer first? Do you want to set it up? What do you want?
Yeah, you can play the trailer. Sure, go for it.
All right.
It's a pretty quick one.
Thank you, Carrie.
I'm also answering messages because it's always now. No,
Yeah, no worries.
I wanted to say to Kaz, I see you over there. Cosmic Grandpa, he said that the cashier at his dispensary today asked if he had a Madness business card. All you need is that thing up in the corner up there, that scan code thingy, that QR code. That's all you need. You just get you a little piece of paper with the QR code, keep it in your wallet when somebody wants, and boom, there it is. Everything we got. Right to the Meg TV, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What can I tell you? That's what I do.
And Edwin here, he does quite a bit of art.
Oh, okay, nice.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Doran's books are awesome. You won't be disappointed. Now, all right, trailer time. Here we go.
Okay.
I did not say I said trailer time. Here we go. Yes, yes.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm the author of The Dirty, the Filthy, and the Dead. It's a story that's based on a flash fiction piece that I wrote several years ago and was published in an online journal. Story kept my interest, and I decided to expand it into a longer short story. However, I decided to move into a different medium of comic books. I always loved comic books, and I was kind of tired of submitting stories into journals. And so I thought, hey, I've always loved comics, so let's try to give that a try. Unfortunately, I don't have artistic ability when it comes to visual arts. Luckily, I met Miguel, and he's a great artist, and so we started pumping out pages and making it come to life. And so, yeah, hopefully we can get this going with your help. And this is going to be a 4-part miniseries in black and white. And for those people who love horror and comedy, I think this will be a comic book just for you. It's for mature audiences. And we're about a quarter done with this first issue. And with your help, we can get it done and then pop out the other 3 issues. Thanks.
There you go. There you go. All right. All right.
So it's a joy to watch yourself, right?
So tell us about that voiceover thing you were doing there.
Just don't like the sound of my own voice, and I just thought that voice would be good and part of show a little bit of the humor. So yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Were you playing? See, even Carrie's like, what's with the creepy voiceover?
Yeah, creepy voice, creepy guy. Why not?
No, we like the way you sound. You sound just fine, bro. You don't have to worry about how you sound.
Yeah, it is good.
All right, so we got The Dirty, The Filthy, and The Dead. That's cover B. That's cover A.
Yep.
Number 1, Playbill. The Playbill.
Yeah, so that's
different ways. You know that, right?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
People are going to see 2 different things there, right?
You're
going to have the people that understand that a playbill is what's going to happen on stage, and then you got the people that think that's a Playboy book.
Oh. Hey, that, like we said,
for ducks, right? For ducks or something, Playbill.
Yeah.
Like I said, Levi's going to ask you the serious questions. Let's be a smart ass. That's what
hey.
But yes.
I love the art on this. Miguel did a great job. Is there it feels like a time period piece. Is there a specific period you're going for in this, or?
So yeah, that's kind of like it's kind of nebulous. So that's kind of the feel of the whole story in general, because even the characters themselves are kind of have trouble placing where they are. And they have questions about the reunion themselves, since none of them planned it, and so it's got a nebulous feel to it, and it's kind of left that way because the characters themselves are a little bit confused.
Right.
All right, so I got your whole elevator pitch right here. Ralph, 1 part George Carlin, 1 part John Wayne Gacy. You don't have to say nothing else, bro.
Yeah, so he's the main antagonist, who's kind of the MC that kind of gives the scumbags their comeuppance as the story goes along.
I'm just saying, you don't have to say nothing else. That's all you have to say. George Carlin and John Wayne Gacy. That's it.
Right.
Anybody that has any historic knowledge of either of those people is going to go, huh? By the way, somebody with historic knowledge of both of them people is going to go, all right.
Let's hope he can live up to them. We'll see.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Sketchy says Outer Limits.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely all stuff I still watch to this day, is all those sci-fi anthologies.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even comic book wise, that's actually the stuff I still collect is just kind of like old sci-fi writers, the stuff that they did in comics, like Harlan Ellison and stuff like that. It's kind of like still my bag in terms of like back issue stuff.
I'll have two. She said, "Can I have get a couple drinks?"
So I did this on the last stream. If you go back to that guy who's the bartender,
Yeah.
if anyone can guess who that face may be modeled after, a comedian, a comedian's Halloween mask.
Like Joe Piscopo or something.
It's not quite as accurate as the actual Halloween mask, but
I think it looks I like this.
It does look familiar.
It's modeled after the Ernest Halloween mask.
Oh, there you go.
Old Ernest.
Oh, you tell me, you know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can see it here way better than the other picture. There you.
He may not be as nice as Ernest, but
That's almost a little throw to the Halloween movie, right? Where they're using James T. Kirk mask.
yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that, but yeah.
All right. So
But yeah, this
how'd
being my first campaign, I mean, I'm kind of keeping things pretty simple. You know, the tiers are pretty simple in terms of what I offer, and you know, just I didn't want to go overboard because I didn't want to promise anything I couldn't deliver on.
Right.
So just kind of kept it like pretty straightforward.
So in the video, you said you weren't quite done yet. How far along in the project are you?
Yeah, we're a little further, so we're close to about halfway with the book at this point. And so
you're figuring by the time this campaign's over, you'll have it pretty close to wrapped up, or how you rolling on time?
Yeah, we'll have well, maybe not wrapped up, but we'll be about halfway, because I mean it's only going on for 26 more days, and so
Yeah.
Miguel's kind of got the other thing going on. So I think once it wraps up, then he's gonna dedicate getting the book pushed out.
Gotcha.
But we
How
got this.
many
Oh, sorry.
How many pages in total?
Oh, so it'll be 22 story, and then it'll be hopefully a page with the cover to issue 2 on it, and then hopefully maybe a thank you page.
Nice.
All right. Do you have an editor?
No, I don't. But the short story itself has been edited a few hundred times because I've submitted it to like journals and stuff in the past, and that's sort of beta readers and everything. But I'll also look over everything, all the pages and everything, more than once before I go to the printers.
Nice. This thing is only like $58 from being funded.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah,
people.
I've had some very generous, friends and family, and a coworker who was actually surprisingly that came out of nowhere and dropped a big chunk of money on it, which was very surprising and nice of that person.
Right.
So yeah, it's been great. But yeah, hopefully, though, if we go go past the goal, that'd be great, because then be the more books I can get printed, and hopefully then get them out to get them critiqued and reviewers and stuff like that, so hopefully generate more interest for book number 2 and stuff like that.
Right.
So
is
this a self-contained story, or
it is? So after all four issues, it'll be complete and done.
So 88 pages of story.
Yeah, so it should be, yeah, totally. So I got script 2 done, but I still got to do script 3 and 4. But that means the story itself is done.
Cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know where you came up with Graveyard Ape Publications.
That was my son, actually.
Yeah.
He's a guy. He actually probably came up with it a while ago, probably when he was 5. He's 7 now, but we were playing around, and I think we were just making up characters or something, and he came up with Graveyard Ape. And so I was thinking about trying to make like a kids book about it, or kids story. I was just like, I never really did like a kid's book or anything, and I just couldn't come up with anything. And then when it came time to kind of do like a banner sort of thing for this, I was like, well, all right, let's go with that then.
No,
so,
I can come up with a Graveyard Ape story in a flash.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking for kids. I don't know, for a kids book, I wasn't too sure. Like I had a few ideas, but nothing that really stuck. So,
well, what you do is you write the book the way you'd write it normally, and then you edit it adult, and then edit it young adult. You see, you go both ways with it, right? You write the story in the middle, and then you take out the stuff that you can't put
that's true.
And you add some stuff that you wasn't going to show them, right? And both ways, you see. Look, I could have fun with Graveyard Ape. Come on, Levi, can we have fun with Graveyard Ape, dude? Come on, look.
All right. If you want to pay me royalties, we can make something happen.
No, I'm thinking, what's the largest graveyard in Nairobi?
Nairobi.
That would be your setting, somewhere in Africa, the largest graveyard there, and you've got this graveyard.
I don't know how they do burials in Nairobi.
He not only protects the graveyard, but he goes, goes after poachers and all kinds of Graveyard Ape could be a hero. You know what I mean? I'd have fun with that. No, I'm not a furry guy.
You like furries, yeah.
But yes,
that'd be the adult version, the furries one.
Yeah, the adult version and the young adult version.
There you go.
Yes. One thing I've tried to tell people is never shoot one of your feet out from under you. Put your thing out there for everybody. Don't like agendize, don't like boob it, don't do all that stuff. Keep it where everybody can look at it. Now, obviously, where the money is, we were talking about backstage, Kickstarter, boob books, that's where the money is, and I got friends that just do wonderful over there. They're having fun, and hey, whatever. I personally can't show 90% of the stuff I promote to my grandkids. And I'm trying to make sure there's a next generation of comic book fans, because if there ain't, you guys are done. You know what I mean? You got to have that next generation of fans. So there's got to be stuff we can show them. Keep it where everyone can see it. There you go.
You need to come up with the next bone. That's the way to go.
What's up, Lark Bark? What's happening? And I've been instructed to no longer show individual items from the store and drop the link to the items. I need to drop the link to the actual website, to the meg.tv. Because if I bypass the actual website, Google doesn't see it as a hit to the website. You see, and we're trying to get like Google ad space and stuff on our website. So we need as many hits over there as we can get on the meg.tv. And there is a bunch of stuff in the store you can check out. We're having fun with that too. I have to show you, Levi.
Yeah.
I got a little something back from Edwin earlier. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
I asked him to color Cromie Sanders, and he did. And he sent it back to me. As usual, his colors are just awesome.
Right.
I don't know if he's still watching or not, but
he might be. He was in the chat earlier mentioning, Stephen, if you need he specializes well, not really specializes. He's a great artist overall, but he was saying if you need a cover for your book, he's one of your guys.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I might need a cover for the second book. So yeah, for book 2. So yeah, if he wants to hit me up on either Blue Sky or X, That'd be the way to contact me. Yeah, I'm always, because that was one of the more difficult things in terms of putting this book together, was actually getting a reliable illustrator. That was because I wish I could draw. That would have made things so much easier, but I can't. So went through quite a debacle trying to nail down an illustrator.
Well, finding one that's good enough, finding reliable, you can kind of understand why editors in general, like the big companies, have problems keeping talent around. It's just there's a list of 5 things you need, and if you can just have 4 of them, then you're kind of like, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, because I did have one person, and they did a couple pages for me, and then they bowed out, and it's just like, well, I just paid you for these. I got these pages now. What do I do? It's just, I get it. But that was the thing. I was just like, all right. So, I guess as an artist, you can really pull a scam if you want to.
You got to be good. You got to be reliable. You got to be trustworthy. You got to be Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm grateful to have hooked up with Miguel, because he's been great to work with, and he's been reliable. So he's been a good dude. So
he's got a nice, clean style to him. I'm gonna guess here and say he's digital.
He is, yeah. But I think it's worked well for what I'm trying to achieve.
There was one shot in there where it had multiple shots, looked like reflections.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was gonna be able to pull it off, or if it was gonna work. But yeah, it's kind of like a mirror room, like a hall of mirrors, and that's gonna come up again in the comic.
Right.
There it is, the fully colored Cromie Sanders. I can't believe it. It's hilarious. It's good stuff though, but it's hilarious. All right, back to your campaign. Let me get back up here.
Thank you, Carrie. And I'm working on my own book. I appreciate it, though. Appreciate it.
Do you have multiple books going right now, or just one?
Just mine. Just mine. Yeah. So I'm in the process of doing the entire book before I put it out there. So,
okay, wow.
Yeah. I got 4 different volumes, 72 pages each, and I'm currently on volume 3.
Oh, okay. Dang. That's a lot of work. How long have you been at it?
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah. And that was from start, not really start. The first chapter was done, the first script was done, but it was a world building. We decided to expand upon it, had to start from there and go forward. So
yeah, it's quite the accomplishment to stick with something that long and keep it going, and not get burnt out, and keep the passion. So I mean, it's quite the accomplishment.
Well, I've had 3 strokes, so I'm at home all day, and I use my art as a physical therapy, just to keep me clean. Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. So, man, you were so close to being back here.
Yeah, so I did. I mean, I don't know if this is going to work. I just tried it out today, and more for like the upcoming books. I put out an ad, or did an ad for the local movie theater. How they shoot ads before the movies come on.
Yes.
So I did that, and I guess it's going to pop up today, just for like the remaining 28 days. 26 days. So I just want to see how that works out, because it wasn't a bad price at all, and so just we'll see if that gets any clicks or what that does.
So how long has your campaign been open?
It opened on Saturday morning.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yes, the 4th.
So you're still riding the this was the friends and family wave then, right? So
and a few outsiders, yes. So but yeah, I'd say out of the 13 people, like 8 were friends and family.
Gotcha.
That's all right. You just now getting out here, getting it seen too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
you got 26 days. There are 50 quality shows you can attempt to get on to get this seen.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, I've been on John's Long Box, and I did Drinks with Brinks, and you guys, and I was on with Crenshaw and Dio. That was a little bit prior to the campaign launching. And yeah, and I'm trying to find some more shows, but
Yeah,
Dio's working on my book.
with that. Oh,
I say there are a ton of them. There are really a lot of shows out there. If you Google Corissa Grant,
okay.
a whole crap load of her appearances are going to show up on all these different shows.
Oh, okay.
You just go down the list and go, oh, that one looked good. That one looks good.
Yeah.
And you start hitting these people up to be on their show.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Thanks. I would do
Carissa
that.
was on like 140
Oh,
shows
really?
for her first campaign.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know who she was. And we find her like with 2 days left on her first campaign. This is October of 2022. Okay. She is on book 13 right now.
Oh, wow. Do you happen to know what book she was promoting?
Yeah, it's Worthy Chaos Redemption is her book. It's not what she's promoting. It's her book. She's like, man, every 2 months popping a book out. Bang, 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 bang. It's crazy how she's doing it, man. But she's kind of showing everybody else how it's supposed to be done. It's kind of fun to watch. It's like,
good information to have.
Yeah, if you Google her, it'll just show she was on this show on YouTube. She was on this show on YouTube, on this show on YouTube. And you just track all them shows.
Okay,
See, and then you hit the people up. Hey, man, can I come on your show? Hey, man, can I come on your show?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest part, especially like starting out, is just kind of putting yourself out there and, even just asking people through emails and like, DMing people. It seems, odd to just think like, why wouldn't you do that? But, if you're an introvert, like most writers and things like that, it's kind of just getting through that first barrier of doing it. And once you do, it's not so bad, but if you're not used to kind of like trying to sell yourself, it's hard to, make it a normal thing.
It's like two different sides of the brain.
Yeah.
Our girl Carrie over there in the UK is making a sad face right now.
Well, you do the PDF.
There you go.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it simple. I wasn't sure like how the shipping was going to work, but PDF is available.
We do have somebody that will alleviate all those issues for you. If you ever get to the point where you just don't want to deal with fulfillment,
Critical Blast.
RJ does fulfillment.
Critical Blast.
Yeah.
Okay, critical.
He's one of our sponsors. He does fulfillment, publishing, everything, bro.
Yep.
He's like, if all you want to do is like write and art, it's really easy to have RJ just handle the business. And you just go on, and it doesn't really cost you much of anything unless you're asking for special perks. You know what I mean? It's like basically his fee comes out of the shipping cost. It doesn't come out of your backer funding, right? It comes out of the shipping cost. Yeah. So, it's not a bill you have to pay out of pocket or anything like that. And if you don't get funded, it ain't even anything you got to worry about in the first place, right? We want to get funded. But, it's like we're building this thing and trying to bring in as many people that are helpful to you guys as possible. RJ is, masterful. Matter of fact, we're on his Twitter channel right now, and there's 38 people tuning in on his Twitter page right now. So, hopefully it's, something you can take advantage of if you need to at some point.
Yeah.
Also
you get all that information when you scan your QR code?
Excuse me?
No. What you're looking for right now is you're looking for Critical Blast.
You can find him.
From your,
Hold up.
Yeah.
You can find him through that QR code. He's one of our sponsors. So across the top, we've got everything. We've got our homepage, our shop, our sponsors, our show bios for all people like Levi and everybody that does shows out here. So you can find him on that website. Yes, he's one of our sponsors. And the showrunner too. He does Critical Blast programming on the show as well. On the network as well.
He's got the type of knowledge that, like, when you were setting up your campaign, you're like, what's the shipping cost? You like, RJ, what's it cost to ship two comic books in a Gemini with 3 stickers? And RJ would be able to tell you, that weighs X amount and it's costing X amount. And, because
he ships so much stuff that he just knows. He just knows now what it's going to cost when you throw 1, 2, 3, 4 books in a Gemini, or magnets or whatever. It's like he's done it so many times.
I wish I had talked to him before. I just sold 4 slabs on eBay and I got screwed on the shipping. I was like, oh no. That was a big mistake there. I was like, I'm not doing that one again.
Yeah, I don't mess with eBay at all, man. They got me once, and never again.
That was one of my worst sales ever.
They were trying to charge me more than I made.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Like I sold something and then they wanted like 4 times.
I mean, I've gotten fairly okay with them, but it's definitely times.
Hopefully prices will be coming down. So we'll see. Hey, I was saying earlier, you were on with Crenshaw and Dio.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Dio's working on one of my book.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, Galaxy Memorial Park. He's penciling. Excuse me. He's penciling 16 pages for me.
Oh, well, nice. Okay. Yeah, I know he kind of like your book. His like Tome of Reckoning is like a big world he's trying to create with, like, he said it's going to be like 30 like books, so 30 like floppies combined or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch. He's got a bunch of time. And I'm the guy hijacking him right now and kidnapping him. So please don't hurt me.
No, that's cool though. Nice. Because did you guys, I think he mentioned, did you guys like work previously or do something together prior?
No. Okay. I just I'd been around the internet a little bit, seen his stuff, and my stories have flashbacks in them, and the flashbacks are taken care of by different artists. So I'm the main story guy, and he's doing a flashback for me. So he posted a Spider-Man versus Rhino piece, and he says my all-time favorite character is Spider-Man, and the character I needed drawn was she's a Spider-Gwen battling mobsters in an Italian bar. And I'm like, Dio, you want to do that? And he's like, I'm down. So nice. I'm like, here we go. Yeah.
Okay. I like that idea of flashbacks having different artists do that. That's pretty cool.
I wanted it to have that feel of, for me growing up, the biggest bang for my buck reading wise was the official handbook to the Marvel Universe. Right. Read those things backwards and frontwards. So I'm used to a whole bunch of text and very little pictures to go with it, but the pictures would always be different artists from different time periods. That always kind of stuck with me. Like, okay, so if I'm going to throw a flashback, I'm going to go to Dio. I'm going to be like, no. You're the artist that came in on issue 127 of Silverbug, and you were the main artist until 150, and then you got so you put your own spin on it, your own little tweaks to the costume, your own little, so that way you have a general idea of what the costume looks like. But there's always like, here's the old version, the mid version, the older version. So that way the artist isn't really handcuffed and they can get a little bit more of themselves into the project. Yeah. Okay. So, nice. And that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah. He's a good dude. He's one of the first people because before doing, the comic book thing, I wasn't on any social media at all. I only got on it because of this. And he's one of the first people I connected with. And, because I started asking him questions about, what should I do with this and that. And he was right up front and, was quick to answer my questions. So yeah, he's a good people. Yeah, he was a real good guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the panel I was talking about. Scroll down a little bit, Pops. The one with the mirrored room. Go down to the Age Before Beauty.
Yeah, he did a good job there. Yeah, it was hard to like explain because what I wanted wasn't necessarily like a mirrored room at first, but it kind of turned into that, and so you know, he kind of got it almost on the first shot, so he did well. And what's going to happen is like later, because they're in the venue, this is kind of like the entrance to the venue, is when they try to like, or when they leave the venue, some nasty things are going to happen in that room. So it appears again, later on.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah, I hope it, you know, you know, even though there's, you know, it's kind of story heavy though, like there's, it's not as, you know, as much dialogue as I thought it was going to be, since it's, you know, based on a short story. A lot of it was just able to be told by the visuals themselves. So it's not as wordy as you might think. So
right. Well, is it Mike Barone? I think Mike Barone always preaches show, don't tell in comic books.
Yeah.
You know, show the action instead of being too wordy about it. Isn't that what he says, Pops?
Yep.
Yeah. Show, don't tell.
Yeah. And partly like too, like why I decided to like move into comics too is like one thing with my writing is I was always complimented, at least on my dialogue, is that people was like, oh, you know, you got snappy dialogue, or your dialogue feel, you know, reads naturally and stuff. So it's like, all right, that was like kind of like another reason for moving towards comics as well.
Gotcha. Well, it is a good looking book, Stephen, for sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So where are some of the other places besides podcasts and online are you thinking about doing this? Are you thinking about like the little library hutch? Well, no, this isn't an all age book, is it?
No, yeah, you know, I'd say maybe 16 and up.
So maybe your local barber, just things like that. Once you get a physical copy in your hand or something that you can kind of leave around for people, you know, thinking maybe like some barber shops.
Yeah, I mean,
you're in Oregon, you have dispensaries. There is a guy on the West Coast that puts books in dispensaries.
I never thought about that, but yeah, okay.
He has spinner racks in dispensaries all up and down the West Coast. He's in the madness. I can't remember his name right off the tip of my tongue because I talk to a million people all the time. But yeah, if you look, you'll find him, and if you talk to him, and you know, if he's interested in your book, he might help you get him in the dispensaries over there.
Yeah, no, that's
with him, I think though is like he wants you to have him printed up a bunch of them so he can put them in all the stores.
Gotcha.
And know that you're going to be able to restock if they run out. And, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more of a distributor type, you know, range.
Yeah, that's good. That's an interesting idea, though, the dispensaries.
But if you have like local dispensaries, man, you know.
Especially if you got a trippy book.
You got a local dispensary, you just go in there and say, hey, man, I'll put an ad for your dispensary in my book if you let me sell my book in your store.
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna probably think of for the next books coming up, because you know, I don't know if I'll get the same generous, you know, contributions from, you know, the people who helped me out this time, which I wouldn't expect, you know, but I'm gonna have to think a little more creative in terms of, you know, promotion and getting funded.
It is a comic, bro. It is a comic, Rob. It is.
I'm thinking Comic-Con.
Oh.
I think that's what he meant. Comic-Con. Do you have any plans for any Comic-Cons? I know down there in the Oregon area, you don't necessarily have to do Rose City. You know, that there's Beaverton does one.
There's a bunch. Yeah, it's a bunch in the Seattle area. Like I head up to Seattle every once in a while. I recently just went to Fan Expo here in Portland. That was just like a week ago. Because I was handing out bookmarks that have like a QR code Didn't do me a whole lot of good, but at least kind of get them out.
No, look, that's what you do. Okay, when I met John Dexter the first time, the guy that does Alpha Dogs and Dime Store Detective, and he's got another one, Space Cruising. He's 3 different books. I only met him a few years ago. I met him at a con handing out flyers, bro.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now he's got 3 different titles that he's juggling, and he's printing books.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere, but your local people, those are gonna be, I think 60%, 70% of the people that watch our network are local here in this area.
Yeah. I mean, it did kind of pay off though, because I did talk to he's a local guy. I believe his last name's Wilson, but Todd Wilson recently did a Nosferatu book that was on, I believe, Kickstarter. That did really well. He does a lot of drawings for Film Threat. I don't know if you know that channel on YouTube. And he's got something going on with Warren Ellis too right now. And so I was able to talk to him, and I've been emailing him like back and forth. So it was, it's nice to be able to see him face to face and be like, oh, I'm Stephen. I'm the guy who you've been emailing back and forth, and speak to him there. And so that was cool. So in that regard, that might have paid off to just meet face to face.
If you don't necessarily have the energy to sit at a table all day, like Pops is saying, don't pay for the table. Just maybe pay for a ticket, or maybe don't even pay for a ticket. Just stand and hand out flyers outside the door.
Yeah. Actually,
don't be a nuisance, because then they won't want a table next year when you want one.
Right.
You go in, you ask the con runner, hey, is it cool if I put some flyers on this table over here where the con programs and shit are, right? You make it known this is why you were here. You're going to be trying to promote your stuff a little bit. You make friends with dude. That way, when you have a stack of books to put on a table and you want to get a table, dude's going to go, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. He was cool. He came and asked me if he could do this before just like running roughshod of my con.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Make a relationship with that guy. I love the guys that run the local cons here. Mark Hodges and Alan down at Hall of Heroes. These guys are top notch, man. I love going and hanging out with them,
I was just speaking like cost wise, like if you don't want to invest that kind of time and money, there's.
But even so, make friends with dudes so that when you are ready to spend that money, dude's like, yeah, he's cool. You don't want to be at the bottom of the waiting list. You want to be at the top of the waiting list if you're on the waiting list. It's like you want to be one of the dude goes, oh yeah, I remember him. He's cool.
I mean, if you guys don't mind me asking, in terms of like advice in that regards, like how do you handle like the ad stuff, like with the comic books? Like if I were to do like a dispensary sort of thing, like do you get the money like prior to like, or?
So you can even do consignment with your local comic book stores. You would simply walk in there and you would say, generally your comic book store, if let's just say like a $2 cover price, right? Where in the hell are those at? The comic book store bought that at $1. So start off knowing, what your cost is. You have, okay, here's my break-even point. Here's what we're going to charge. Or maybe even start off with, if you had a price on the cover, something to lock in like that. And you just come in and go, okay, you're making $1 on every book. You say, okay, I'll split it with you. You get 50 cents. I get 50 cents. So consignment is what I would ask for first, unless they want to outright buy them from you. But then you'd be like, there's returns.
I think he was asking something a little different though about putting ads in the book, like doing a associate sponsor type thing where we'll put your ad in our book if you let us sell our book in your store.
Oh, gotcha.
You see what
I mean? Both are good to know. Yeah, I mean,
come see, come saw is what I like to call it. It's like you go in there and you just, hey man, can I talk to the marketer or the owner of the dispensary? It's like, hey, man, I'm putting out a comic book. Man, I'll put an ad in here for your dispensary if you'll let me sell a few copies here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Real simple. You know, you're not asking for money. They're not asking for money. It's I'll help promote you if you'll help promote me.
Okay, yeah. So
know?
right. So more of a So more of a
Say you got to give us $1 a book or whatever. You're selling books, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, ad space in comics. It depends. You know, it's like if you get. Let's be honest. Stoners love comic books. Just be honest. We do. Okay. Yeah. If they were at the store where we buy our weed, holy crap, that's one-stop shopping, yo.
Yeah, no,
one-stop shopping. Come on.
There's an untapped market here. Yeah.
Man, if I had $1 million, there's so many things I would do. I'd run out of that $1 million really fast, but I'd have 8 different business popping off like real. You know, Kaz would be so busy he wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
Slow down, Pop. Slow down. But yeah, everybody, look, go check out The Dirty, The Filthy, and The Dead. Just go do it. Go take a look.
I think you'll enjoy the story. It's got a lot going on. Luis has done a good job with the art. So yeah, if you like horror, it's a little bit of comedy.
I just like I just want to know Ralph.
Ralph.
I want to know Ralph.
Yeah, I mean,
Wayne Gacy and George Carlin. Come on.
Kind of always want to come up with
serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of want to come up with a sort of iconic kind of character. So I want to, hopefully he's sort of like,
he'll
yeah,
slice you up verbally before he slices you up physically.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So yeah, everybody, go check this one out. Look, I never want anybody leaving our show and thinking, man, I didn't get to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this. So I always make sure that you get the last word as the guest. Is there anything we didn't cover that you want to make sure people know?
Well, if you're like unsure as to if this is something you'd want to check out, you can check out some of my writing that's free online. So you could always Google my name, Stephen Barone, and I used to contribute to a journal called The Humor Times. So if you want to get a sense of my, comedy, offerings, you can just put in Stephen Barone Humor Times. Some of my writing pieces from there might pop up, and if you could give them, you could read them for free. That seems like you're a cup of tea, then you might want to give this a try. So that's one way to kind of get a taste of from my writing and my sense of humor. So that could be one thing.
Cool. There you go, guys. There you go. Levi, you got anything else for this man?
No, I do not. I do love the Graveyard Ape, though.
The what?
The Graveyard Ape.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I created one T-shirt. I might do T-shirts for the next one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a story there, bro. There's a really good story there somewhere.
I was kind of hoping. I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping that the ape would be in the story.
I kind of thought so too. It's like, what's the ape got to do with it?
Maybe for one of the next issues, there could be like a short story about the ape. And might throw that in there as like a little piece at the end.
Give us a Graveyard Ape ash can.
Okay. We might do that.
Just like an 8-page ash can of the Graveyard Ape.
Okay. I might start working on that.
Thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey,
no problem.
Best of luck with the campaign. We will probably, if you're in the Madness Facebook group, same name, Madness Comic. It's still Madness Comic Network over there, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you join the Facebook group, you can drop that link at least once a day. It is a networking and promotions group. That's what it's for. You're not going to get told, hey, you can't promote it. Okay. Drop that link at least once a day all the way through your campaign.
Yeah. You could do the same on the YouTube channels where just come in, pop in. We'll recognize you. We will rent you, and you can drop your links in any any madness chat that's running. You know, we just don't ask you. You know, you don't drop your link when somebody's launching a book. You know, just yeah. But every other show, you can drop your link over in the comments section.
That's something we do. We give wrenches to all the creators.
Yeah,
you know, and even our friends, Carrie, she'll drop links for people. The whole thing is networking. It's promoting each other, and that's how we all grow. So, you know, you see us live, you see Rob Wilson Arts live, and come in there in the chat and drop a link.
Okay, cool, nice.
The Madness Entertainment Group on YouTube, and the Madness Comic Network on Facebook.
Excellent.
That's it.
Good stuff.
All right, Levi, you got control.
I guess I will play us out of here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. That's hands, everybody. How about a little Mike Barron?
When a series of shipping disasters points to a mysterious sea monster, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson leave the comfort of Baker Street and board a freighter where they encounter unexpected betrayal and come face to face with the enigmatic Captain Nemo and his submarine, the Nautilus. As they delve deeper into the case, they uncover a conspiracy involving a Russian Tsar with an airship that rains destruction on unsuspecting cities. With time running out and the world on the brink of war, the heroes must use all their skills and resources to stop a massive conspiracy and prevent global conflict. From Eisner-winning writer Mike Barron and illustrator Richard Bong, dive into the depths of adventure and unravel the mysteries of the sea with the world's greatest detective in Leviathan. Order now at baroncomics.com.
Little president in his sandbox play, build a tower, make it stay. Digging deep through the golden sand, building the future with your hands. Tiny suits and shiny shoes, making plans and making news. Friends all gather to join along, in the sandbox they all belong. Little president from that play, every day a brand new day. Learning, growing your own way, in the great big sandbox that is the USA. The USA. Share your dreams with everyone, sandbox fun under the sun. Big ideas taking flight, with Little Trump everything's bright. Dig a moat, build a wall, in the sandbox he stands so tall. Dreamer dream, builder build, Little Trump your heart's fulfilled. Little President Trump that play, every day a brand new day. Learning, growing your own way, in the great big sandbox that is the USA. Hooray, hooray, for the USA.
Tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From caves to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens